Welcome to the Rocky Garza Show, where we explore the collision of a deeply meaningful life and a wildly impactful career. I'm your host, Rocky Garza, and with over a decade of experience as a coach, consultant, and keynote speaker to many Fortune 500 companies, I'm here to share personal stories and expert advice to help you gain clarity, build confidence, and discover that you too can build the life you actually want. Whether you're a high achiever looking for a more full life or a leader striving for professional success with purpose, this podcast was designed with you in mind. Welcome to the Rocky Garza Show. I am your host, Rocky Garza. Today I want to talk about goals, but not through the lens that we are normally used to talking about them. I want to talk about goals from the sense of goals are simply the result of the work that you have yet to do that you believe you're willing to do in order to gain that result. I'm going to say it for us again, just so we can sort of focus in here. Goals in and of themselves are just a description of the result that we're hoping to achieve by consistently doing the daily activity required to wake up on that day and have achieved that result. And I think sometimes we put so much effort and energy into goals. We put so much effort and energy into coming up with what is this thing going to be and what is this thing going to have. And I'm going to be really clear. I am with you on the sense that I love some goals, right? I love coming up with what are all the possibilities of what could be. However, a goal is only as good as the system that we build that follows that path. I want you to think about it. James Clear is a master of this. If you haven't read the book Atomic Habits, you got to read it. And I love what he says, is he says that we'll never reach the height of our dreams. We're only ever going to fall to the level of our system. And what I mean by that is here's what I want you to think about. I recently was reading I follow a bunch of different dad podcasts and dad posts and folks on threads and so on. And we, a group of us sort of decided we're going to do a 30-day challenge where we're going to do a 30-day no yelling challenge. Now, the goal, the result, I could very easily say, I want to have a goal where I don't yell anymore. Reality is though, life's, I can get frustrated. You can get frustrated. I'm probably going to yell. I'm probably going to get mad. Something silly like cereal or something silly like taking a bath is going to send me over the edge, and it's going to be a rough day, and I'm going to yell. And so what I want us to think about is the way that instead of saying the goal that I have is to never yell again, because I don't think that's realistic. The practice, the system that I have is that each day I want to make sure that I am doing everything in my power and ability to not yell unnecessarily or even yell at all for that matter, and to do a 30-day no yelling challenge. And so I believe that when I start looking at that systematically to go, what is it that I actually want to do daily? And that's not yell. Then in 30 days, the result is probably going to be that I'm not yelling, right? And so I want you to think about it this way, and I'm going to be a little aggressive, but stay with me because I think sometimes we have to get a little aggressive to sort of walk ourselves back into what's real. Really what I'm saying is that I want to be able to make sure that any behavior that I am asking of my family, any behavior that I'm asking of my kids, any behavior that I'm saying, this is what we do and we don't do, if I am tolerating that behavior in myself, how then can I ever keep anybody else accountable to that behavior? And the reason I tell you this story is because I know you're out there, and moms and dads, I know that you have yelled before. I know you've been frustrated because we all do it. But my question to you is that we then tell our kids, hey, don't yell at your sister. Be nice to your brother. And the reality is if that's the case, then are we doing the same thing? Are we tolerating a behavior that we're willing to have and do, yet simultaneously saying that they can't or they shouldn't? Then the next question I ask you is, I want you to think about at work. If you are a people leader, if you are an executive, if you are a CEO, if you are somebody who is in charge of other human beings, are you currently acting out the behavior? Are you tolerating the behavior in yourself that you so often say, here at our company, we don't do that. We don't act this way. We don't talk this way. We don't perform this way. We don't coach this way. We don't lead this way. We don't do these kinds of things. And if we are consistently saying that, yet our behavior is showing something dramatically different, And I think it has to go back to what my good friend Vince Kelly said. And we added a little Rocky Garza on top of what Vince said. We go back to that culture is not what you pontificate. Culture is what you tolerate. And I don't mean tolerate like we're willing to withstand this amount of bad behavior. I mean tolerate in the sense of that this is the level of excellence we have for our good behavior. So my question to you, both personally and professionally, are there areas of your life where you are tolerating behavior in yourself, yet in the same breath, we call out to those around us and say, I don't do that. We don't do that. That's not what we do. And if that's the case, how are we expecting something different? And so today, we're going to keep it short and sweet. But today, I just want you to think through for yourself. What behavior first are you tolerating with you? What behavior are you tolerating with yourself that you would say to someone else, do not do that? What behavior are you tolerating with yourself that you would say to someone else, you gotta be doing this, and yet you are not doing it? And in the workplace, where are you currently tolerating behavior? Where is that one employee that we say does such a good job, but they are toxic? They do such a good job, but they just can't get along. They do such a good job, but then I would ask you to take a step back and ask yourself, do they really, in fact, do a good job? Is that true? Or are we tolerating a level of behavior that we would never say is the standard or the system or the metric by which we would measure success, yet we still continue to allow it to happen? So ask yourself, are you tolerating behavior in yourself that no longer aligns with what you value? Are you tolerating behavior in yourself that no longer aligns with your ideal goal and result you're looking for? Are you tolerating behavior with your team and people that you've been unwilling to have the hard conversation? And are you tolerating behavior for a quote unquote good performer when in fact it's actually detrimental to your entire organization? Just a few thoughts for us today on Wednesday. What kind of behavior are you tolerating? Culture in your company and in your home is not what you say it is. It is solely based on the behavior that you tolerate. Thank you for joining us. And as always, if you're interested to check out what it is that we are doing next, make sure and go to rockygarza.com/thepath. Again, that's rockygarza.com/thepath. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.